Olá pessoal, vamos começar aqui a live, tá? A gente vai... Estou preparando aqui para começar o ambiente. Já tá... Daqui a pouco já começa. Em minutos. Vamos sentar aqui bem na ponta. Dentro de alguns minutos aqui a gente começa. Essa live é sobre o... A gente vai falar sobre o Extending Zia, né? O assistente da Zoho. E bora lá, gente. Daqui a pouco começa. Dentro de 4 minutos a gente começa essa parte ao vivo aí, tá? Estamos aqui na Zoho mesmo, tá? Na headquarter da Zoho, na 4141 da Hacienda Drive. Tá? Esse aqui é o auditório Track 2, a sala 2, onde a gente vai falar somente sobre extensões dos Zoho Application, tá? Dentro de 3 minutos começa, eles começam bem no horário mesmo. Tá, vamos lá. Tá. Vamos lá. Eu vou começar aqui. Então, dentro de alguns minutos a gente começa aqui o evento, essa live. Agora aqui na Califórnia são 13h28, né? Acabou de terminar o almoço, né? E estamos vendo aqui o ambiente, né? Esse ambiente aqui é muito bacana. Vou mostrar para vocês. Bom, vai começar a apresentação, tá? Vai começar aí as apresentações do Zoholics, né? O stand. Os palestrantes já chegaram. Rick, que vai estar fazendo, e a gente vai estar acompanhando aqui. Bem bacana. Bom que a Zoho permitiu a gente fazer um evento aqui bem bacana, bem legal. Começar com
welcome back, everyone. How was lunch?
Good.
Yeah, lunch was Woo! Okay, good to hear. We're gonna jump back right into things. I hope you guys caffeinated yourselves or did jumping jacks or whatever you need to do to stay awake. But you won't need to because these presentations are so interesting, especially our next one, which we'll be talking about Zia. So I'd like to introduce to you all Ricky and Vijay. And I want to hear like the loudest applause of the day right now. This is it. Your moment of fame starts now. Are you guys stage ready? This is their first time presenting, but I guess they have like a little bit of stage stage fright right now.
Segura pra mim.
I guess it was the cheering, so now we'll boo them on and see if that comes back. I'm just gonna stall and dance around the stage till our technical difficulties are fixed. Does anyone have an interesting story they can share with me about Creator or anything they want to share? I will find you a t-shirt and give you a t-shirt if you talk to me today. That's how desperate I am. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
For the sake of filling time,
Yes.
and just to share about the capabilities of producing something quickly in Zoho Creator or Zoho CRM for the family, I was able to overnight take the CRM module called Deals and turn it into cases for people that were going through recovery and were living in different houses. And then be able to assign contacts to them that had different roles, like their case manager, maybe their lawyer, maybe their sponsor in their addiction recovery. And I threw it all together in one night, and was so that we could keep track of their appointments that they had with the doctors or legal appointments or whatever, all within the capability and customizability of Zoho CRM. And if I knew anything about Creator at the time, I would have made special apps that connected and integrated with that.
That's awesome. That's a great story. Thank you for that. There's so much you can do with Creator. It's awesome. Are we ready yet, Ricky and Vijay? Are you ready? Because we are. Come on, let's cheer them on. They're like slowly walking up here. They're scared still. They need a little help. You're going to do a great job.
All right, go ahead and get started. So, again, my name is Ricky from the Austin, Texas office. I'm going to be presenting our Zia platform and presenting with Vijay. So, dive right into it and a little bit of a late start. So, what is Zia? Zia is what we've named our AI suite. You've seen Zia in multiple Zoho products already, like the CRM. And so we are going to show you the kind of the back-end build-out of Zia and how you can make Zia more customized for your business. Me being the CRM person in the room, so I'm going to talk about how Zia currently works inside Zoho CRM. So we have 4 different things that Zia is currently able to do. Anomaly detection, what this means is Zia is predictive. So it's keeping track of patterns in your CRM, such as lead conversion, lead creation, deal closure, and it's predicting the next week, the next month on what you should be hitting, right? And if that is lower than what Zia expects, you will be notified. So even if you're not in front of a report at the time, you're knowing that your lead conversion rate is dropping for the day, right? Best time to contact, when you use the email plugin and connect to your email system, the system is checking when the customer opens the email, if they clicked on it, what time that was. If you add our phone integration, it's keeping track of when they answer the call, when you left a voicemail, when they called back into your company. It's also keeping track of social media interactions if you integrate Facebook and Twitter, along with Zoho campaigns, Zoho survey. So all this information is aggregating, and it's using that information to tell you the best time to reach your customer. Whether that's through email or through a call, when you schedule a call, instead of choosing the time you want the call reminder, it will have an option to just click best time. And it will use this information to then give you notification at when it takes you to call. That's also in the email system. If you are emailing somebody through the day and they tend to open their emails in the morning and it's late in the afternoon, you can just tell Zia to send it at its best recommended time, which would be the next morning, so you get a higher open rate. We also have workflow suggestions. So a lot of us do the same task over and over and over again, so Zia will notice these patterns and suggest you build a workflow. If you edit a workflow and it somehow sends less email templates out or creates less tasks, so that workflow is actually not as efficient as the previous one, it will notify you that you need to go back and change that workflow. If you make 2 workflow rules that happen to send the same template to a customer, it will anticipate that before it happens and let you know that the same template is about to be sent out. We also recently added email sentiment analysis in the CRM, so this is something you can teach Zia to do as well, but it reads your emails that are sent and received from the system, and kind of gives you like a smiley face or sad face for positive or negative sentiment, or neutral as well. And you can add to that so it's recognized as different words as positive or negatives. What we're going to focus on is the chatbot and the voice assistant, which are recent additions to Zoho CRM. And these two things, both the chatbot and the voice assistant, are kind of categorized as a conversational assistant. And what this means is instead of having to look for a certain feature in the software or click around here and there or search, you're just talking to your software like a human. Right? It's the simplest form of communication. It's something that everyone and anyone can do without any sorts of sophisticated training. So you talk to your software like a human, and it responds via text or audio. We've already seen, with a Google Home or an Amazon Echo how this works on the consumer side. You can either ask a very short question like "What time is it?" Or as you'll see, you can ask a more sophisticated. You can go into a more sophisticated engagement, and it will pick up that you're talking about the same customer or the same contact as you ask similar questions, just the way you would do with a human. They're able to pick up that you're still talking about the same subject instead of constantly just restarting over and over. So when these virtual assistants came out, originally it was just kind of a search tool. It's evolved to an action tool, right, where you can add something to your calendar, tell the assistant to send an email, tell the assistant to complete a task or to notify you. So it's become something that's very useful in your day-to-day life, and we want to show you how you can use this on the business side. So before we dive into that, let's look at some statistics, and maybe this will help you kind of see which kind of category you fall into. So 40% of adults now use voice search once per day, right? So are you in that 40% or are you not? And think about that right now. And 60% of the people who are using it just started in the last year. So we've seen an exponential boom on this kind of interaction. A lot of people have bought these devices within just the last year themselves, so the usage is going up and up. Initial growth, again, spurred by the two that are on the screen, the Echo and the Home. A lot of other companies are falling in line with that. 65% of people that own this device can't go back to a time where they didn't have that device. Are you in that category? Are you this reliant on this device or not? And then 42% say that it's become essential, so it's part of their family basically, right? So think about where you lie, and now you've all used Echo or Siri or Google Home at this point, so it's pretty easy to understand how it's used on the consumer side, like knowing the score of a game or purchasing movie tickets, or do I need to wear a sweater today because it's cold outside, and it can understand and pick up what you're really asking. So this would be awesome if we could do this on the business side. It would save us a lot of time. So in any typical business, we either are acquiring customers, you're in the sales or marketing side of things, you're figuring out how your website can be optimized so the customer can find what they're looking for and the price and matching that product to their needs, and that generates new revenue. And then you're on the retention side, where you're in the support side of things, or sending out surveys, or doing case studies and references. You're doing further education for your customers so that they take full advantage of your products and possibly come back and buy something else from you. And that's, of course, recurring business. So this is our dilemma, right? You have, in order to acquire customers and retain customers, you have to use many different software applications. As you've seen the Zoho suite, there's almost 40 different applications that you could use to run your business, plus lots and lots of others out there, right? So as an end user, you're now having to go to work and deal with multiple products. And then inside those multiple products, you're dealing with hundreds of different features. If you actually are a power user of each product, that's a lot of things that you need to learn. And then as you start using that product in your business, you discover other needs. And you may not even know if that feature is inside the product or not. And the other problem is you have different users with different experience level on different apps. So it becomes more of a technological burden, or maybe you'll have some technology fatigue. You're using so many different apps. And this is the problem that the Zia platform is going to solve for you. Okay? So we take our end user here and give them a friend or an assistant. And they can ask their friend how to get something done And without having to dive into all the different software products and features, that assistant is able to give you the answer. So it's also very time-saving. Why are these useful? Because we talk every day. This is our natural flow. We don't write in code, right? Sorry, we don't speak in code. We speak in English. We use slang. We use different types of dialects from different areas. So we wanted to make it as natural as possible. So if you can program these things in there, people can just talk to it as that they would be talking to another colleague or their friend. And so no special adoption is needed. They would assume that you can just ask, how much money do I have, in revenue, and it'll just know the answer. It doesn't matter how you say it, they just ask the way that they feel comfortable saying. The same thing applies to like Amazon Alexa, just kind of practicing with it. You can ask, is it cold outside, or do I have to wear a sweater today? Both of those are interpreted as knowing what the temperature is, right? And it gives you the weather. So it's able to understand you as if you're just a human, right? So with the virtual assistant, we're looking at 3 different components. You can either ask a general question. General question would be something like, when was Zoho founded, right? We can ask personalized questions, so something that you're particularly interested in, right? Like particular to like an addition of a product or the price of a product, or what you've purchased in the past. And then we can even do operations on what you ask it to do. So like add this product to my cart, right? Or send me a return label for the product that I purchased. So we're able to call an operation. So we're going to dive into all 3 of these categories with a live demo on both the Zia chatbot and the Zia voice assistant on the mobile device. We're going to use the use case of an e-commerce business, because this is something that we do every day. We're going online, we're looking for clothes or electronics or some kind of item. We're adding it to a cart, we're placing an order, we're receiving our package. Sometimes we have to return that package, but it's something we've done on so many different websites, so it's very relatable. So when we ask general questions, right, these don't have any particular distinct parameters for me versus you. It's just something that someone would just ask in a store as they walk in, like, what are all the products you sell? Do you have any discounts or offers available? What is your return policy, right? So the assistant will give back a general answer. So what I'm going to show you first is our awesome e-commerce creator application, and we'll apply that general question into a chatbot that's on a consumer-facing website, right? So in our creator application, we are pretending we're the Apple Store. So we've added a bunch of different Apple products and their price. We have a shopping cart built so we can see what's in the shopping cart itself. We can place orders. We can look at an order history as well. All right? So let's go to our website. So this is just a Zoho Sites website, but we see our chatbot in the corner here. And if I click on this chatbot, right, I can ask that question: what are all the products that you sell? And now we can see the output. So pay special attention to the type of output. It could have given me just text. Expand bigger. So take special note to the output. So the output is a mixture of text and images. So you have the option when you output the answer to be in a table format or just text, or you can display images, right? So different types of output is available. Now, inside this chatbot, I can continue my conversation, right? What is the cost of iPhone, right? So didn't do what we're supposed to do. Try it again. Okay, I messed up the sentence there. Okay, so let's see if I have to type the sentence the right way. Try again. Well, not really doing what it's supposed to do here.
You keep putting a question mark in there. Are you trying to put in like iPhone 7 or 6?
Well, what it's supposed to do is ask me what type of iPhone I want, right? So it's going to ask me for that parameter that's missing. There it goes. So kind of got the right formula here. So we would ask the product, and then it would know that there are multiple types of product in that category. So then it will then ask me to fill in the missing parameter, which is the type of iPhone here. And then I can choose it and submit it, and then it will give me back the answer. Okay? Now, if I ask it a question on something that we don't sell, for example, what is the price of the AirPods? Right? So it's recognizing that that product is not available. It should have said that product is not available. What am I doing wrong?
Zia's on break. It's gonna go rogue on us.
But anyway, the idea would be that it wouldn't recognize a product, and then it would give you the list of products that it would look for. Okay, so that's our general questions. Now, wish me luck, because we're about to do the voice demo, right? So, I talked to Zia. Hopefully she's not continuing to sleep. All right, so the next category from general was to personalized questions. So personalized question would be something like, what do I have in my cart? It's related to me. What is the status of my shipment? Do you ship iPhones to my zip code or to my state? We can also ask it to perform an operation such as add this product to my cart, or place an order for me, or cancel my order. Right? So what I'm going to do next is go onto this mobile device here, and we're going to load our e-commerce creator app. Hope this works. Okay, so I think it caught up. So I'm going to, no, it's definitely lagging. Let's wait for Darth Vader to go away and go back into the app. All right, there we go. So I'm going to ask Zia some questions. So here we go. I'm going to hit that call button there. And I know it's delayed.
May I help you?
All right. What is the cost?
Sorry, no action found for the message.
What is the cost?
Sorry, no action found for the message.
Just like Siri's
I
sister.
think she's hearing a lot of the.
Yeah, so as we were talking, so the mic has got on, that's why.
Thanks for calling Zia. How may I help you?
What is the cost of MacBook?
Zia?
The price of MacBook Pro is $1,299.
Add MacBook to my cart.
Sorry,
Add MacBook to my cart. Oh, it's not lagging. I wasn't on mute, it's just delayed from when I unmuted from the phone. Okay. 8 units. 8 units. What do I have in my cart?
I've added a MacBook Pro to your cart.
What do I have in my cart?
Demora para processar.
Okay, I'm just gonna call it a day. So those prayers did not help me enough. Okay.
Hey, don't worry, Bill Gates went through this a lot.
So the funny story, we just did it upstairs 10 minutes before we came downstairs, and of course that's when it doesn't decide to work. So it does work, I swear. I'll show it to you outside. I think there's a lot of lag with the Apple TV, but I don't know. So anyway, you get the idea. So can you switch the screen back? Okay. So let's pretend all of this worked, right? So I was able to, on the mobile device, place an order for something through the app, and then it would be able to tell me what is in my cart, etc. So what we're going to do is show you how this was programmed on the back end. And like I said, I swear this works because I just tried it. It was pretty cool upstairs. You know, that's not the first time I tried it. We tried yesterday too. It is what it is. So, all right, let's keep going. So this is the developer console that we're going to demo to you guys today on building your own Zia sentences and actions and skills. So what I want to do is break down this developer console, break down the Zia platform into 4 pieces. And then we're going to deep dive into each one, explain what it is. So the chat management framework, the developer console, the voice and chat SDKs, and then the admin console. So let's start with the chat management framework. Okay. So I'm going to kind of simplify what's written behind me, right? So communicates with the NLP layer, define the intent initial parameters. So basically all that means is it's reading your sentence, figuring out your grammar, looking for keywords, and figuring out the relationship between those keywords. And if there are items missing to call to action, like what type of iPhone, then it will ask you that message. So you fulfill all the parameters, and then it makes sure that you've fulfilled them correctly. Like if it asks for a number, you typed in a number or said a number, and then it's going to be able to call to action. This is all managed as if there were hundreds of different chat sessions going online with different chatbots all at once. Included in this, it also will read things like hello, goodbye, how are you, and so you can talk to it like a person. So instead of being so robotic like I am, in my conversation to Zia, you can actually say, hey Zia, please add the MacBook for me, but I don't like to be so nice, so I just like to say it like a robot, I guess. I don't know. But feel free to communicate with however you want it. It's able to read all that in language. The developer console is what we're going to demo today for you guys. And so this is where you are actually building the skills. So it's put together in different pieces. You have a chatbot, you have a skill related to that chatbot, and then you can have multiple actions inside that one skill. So if we take this skill of e-commerce that we just had, inside there would be multiple actions like placing the order or showing what's in the cart or telling me what products are in the inventory, etc. So inside the console, you add your developers, you figure out their access control, and you write your intents, which are actions. Those are interchangeable words. We call them actions inside our product. You may be familiar with intents. Inside the skill, you can have multiple skills for multiple bots, and then inside each skill you can have multiple intents or actions. Then if you want to edit or update these different actions inside the skill, you can do so, and then you can push your updates through. So it can be a work in progress. Right? Let's break down actions. Actions are the chatbot's abilities. So these are the sentences, parameters, and the functions that you're going to combine together to make one action. A sentence is exactly what I was saying or typing on the bot. It's what you are going to do to invoke the action in the first place, like place an order for me. So it's just what you're going to type. Parameters are the inputs, right? So these are your fields. If you think of this tool as a form, then parameters are just the fields that you have to fill in, like first name, last name, number of units, type of product. Once it knows all the parameters are fulfilled, then it can call the action. So, and then that action is, the third piece of the action is the function, which is going to execute the action itself. Let's break down the sentences. I know I'm running low on time with all the craziness you see going on earlier. The sample sentences is the dialogue, right? So what you're speaking. The placeholders are your parameters. This is what changes between every sentence. Like, what is the price of an iPad? What is the price of an iPhone? What is the price of AirPods? That's the parameter value that's dynamically changing every single time. And then you have to write out all the semantically distinct sentences that can call this function. So something as simple as what is the price of something or what is the cost of something, that's not a semantically distinct sentence versus what is my revenue or how much do I earn per year, right? It's a completely different sentence and none of the words even match between those sentences. Then you consider that a semantically different sentence. Otherwise, it's able to interpret that price and cost are asking the same thing, right? And so with any AI tool, you have to build data into it. The entire data model here for Zia is going to be all these sample sentences that you type in. Breaking down parameters. So parameters are your input. They can be a text, number, date, time, or an array, which is like a pig list. It can be a single select or multiple select. This, and the more types are coming. You kind of saw that in the chatbot where it sent the images or it sent the table, and I can click an option versus just plain text. Even when it pulls an answer for you, that answer can be in the form of an image. And you have to specify the messages. Of course, if you need to collect additional parameters, you have to specify what that message would be, like how many units would you like. And then we get to the third part, which is the execution function. This is done in deluge code, and it's going to return as a map. And you saw you can use audio or visual, audio message or a text, which is we're going to call a visual card. The reason we call a visual card is we're going to be able to add multiple elements into that card, from text to an image and text, or a link, or a table and a text, or a list. So it's up to you how you want to answer in the right format. So, and what you saw on the mobile app was the voice SDK. So the chat SDK is going to be on the web and the mobile app. The voice SDK is only going to be on the mobile app. And when you add the SDK into that client app, as we showed here, it will take care of everything. It's not like you have to do anything too special. And I know I rushed through that because we're running a long time, but Vijay is going to come up and show the Zia console here.
Thanks, Ricky, and sorry for what you had to endure. Okay, so I'm the product manager for Zia Voice, so I take all responsibility for what happened. So I'm sorry again. So as you see, we are evolving. We have just begun this project, and we wanted lots and lots of data to get this system trained. So that's why we just plan to open up for early access for early adopters. So we have, so this entire thing is based on deluge. So where to find a lot of deluge developers? You come to Zoholics developers, right? So that's why we are opening up this for the early access. And the system gets evolved and evolved as it gets used. So what you see today is a primitive thing. What you did see today is a primitive thing. So we are still evolving, and we want you all to join the journey of our evolvement. So having said, yes, let's just dive into the developer platform that we have. So this is the developer console where people will be able to add abilities to the chatbot. So you have a requirement for a chatbot, and you come here and create a bot and you can add abilities to it and deploy it wherever you want. So this is the bot that we have designed for the virtual e-commerce site that we just presented, and I'm just going to walk through one ability that we have created already for this bot. So I'm just showing placing an order inside the ability of placing an order through the chatbot to the e-commerce platform. So this is the new action screen. So this is how you create a new ability to the chatbot for Prime Visible. So any action, as Ricky already mentioned, can answer a question or do an operation. In this case, we are choosing to do some operation. And first things the system expects is how this operation can be performed. So some commonly used sentences that the user may trigger in the natural language may use to trigger this action in the natural language. So that is the first input. And as you type that, you can add those values that are required to fulfill that action. Say, for example, placing an order. To place an order, you must know what the product is and how much the product, how much quantity do you want. So those are to be declared as parameters here, and those parameters can be given through the initial sentences, and it can be marked like this. So say, for example, if I'm writing a sentence like place an order for 10 phones, and I've marked 10 as quantity and phone as product. So these are the example invocation sentence. To put it in a machine language perspective, this is the data model that the system requires to identify the further user inputs that may arise. So once this is declared and the parameters are defined, and we support the following data types for the parameters. So when you declare, say, a parameter as date, the user can say that in a natural language. Say, for example, when do you want the order to be delivered? And the user can say next Friday. The platform takes care of converting the string next Friday into a readable date format. So that's what. So all the data type validations are done by the platform, and we try to extract as many parameters as possible that you have declared in the sample sentences. So defining an action, defining an ability inside a Zia's bot is just defining the sentences and the parameters. And once you are done, so the system works like whenever a user input comes, it compares with the sentences that it already has for the user, and it tries to identify a single ability that matches with the user input, and it tries to prompt the parameters that are required to fulfill that action. And once all the parameters are got, boom. So we have deluge in here, divided by products, united by deluge. So we have all the parameters that we declare in the previous page. Say, for example, product name, product ID. So everything, every value of the parameter that is gotten from the user is passed through the deluge function. And as you can see, I can just create a record with these values that is gotten from the user, and Zia platform takes care of the conversion of the user input into a deluge format. Say if I say next Monday, it will convert into a valid date format that the deluge code can understand, so that you can directly use that value programmatically. So Zia platform takes care of converting your natural language into a programmable data, so that you can use this data to hit whatever API you want. So here I have just hit creator APIs. You can literally hit any API you want. You may have a third-party cloud application that you may want to integrate with. You have your own server, you have your own API. So any cloud-based application that has an API can be communicated through the deluge code. So virtually you can create a chatbot assistant for any cloud product. So that is the platform that that's the power of this platform actually. And the output of this deluge function should be in the prescribed format. In this case, it is a map. We expect that to be a map, and that map should have the key message, and whatever string that comes out of this message will be broadcasted to the user as an audio output or a chat. That's it. So we get all of the inputs from user, and we pass on to the delete function that you write, and you do whatever you want with the data, with the API, do some processing, get some answer for the user, and construct an answer as a return to this delete function, and the system will pass on to the user as a reply to his or her question. So this is how we have programmed this, and this is the developer console. So just imagine to write a chatbot ability to place an order. This is the effort that you require. So you declare some sentences, declare the parameters, and write the delete as you know it, and boom. It's just 10 minutes of work that you have to do. And once this is done, publishing to your website is just a click space. So you can just click over this button, and it will be available to the users who are already using the chatbot. So adding a new ability to the chatbot can happen in the runtime. So as Vicky explained, this is the developer console. The end users of your chatbot are going to use through the mobile app or the web app that integrates Zia's mobile and web SDKs. So integrating the SDK into your client app is going to be a one-time job, and any action that you add in the runtime in the developer console will be available immediately to your end users through the mobile and web SDKs. So that's the point. So here, I want to demo it again. So I'm just saying place an order. So it is going to ask me for product. So I'm saying iPhone, and it is programmed that. So we have a list of products in the demo account. So out of these, we have 3 iPhones. So the system prompts the user which iPhone. It is confused because we have multiple iPhones. So you can prompt this from the user. All these are programmed by the system. It is taken care by the developer. So if I'm choosing iPhone X, so how many? It just asked me just 1. So here, I said just 1. It is an English sentence. It is a naturally spoken sentence. And this thing is converted into a programmable number so that it is given properly to the delete code, and it is hit with proper creator API. So the conversion of the sentence just 1 to the number 1 is taken care by this. So this is the whole point. So adding a record inside creator, in this case creator, or to any cloud application is just going to take this effort for the end users. And to give this ability, it is just going to take this effort for you to publish the action. So this was a quick introduction about the platforms. Hope I was able to make up for what we did with this demo that I just showed. So I leave the rest to Ricky. He has something else to show.
What's better for you?
Yeah.
I don't have any magic touch. Alright, well, let's finish up here. So let's go into some use cases and examples. So, alright, so now time to think about this on the entire Zoho One scale, right? All the different Zoho apps and how you can add these assistants to make your life easier across your entire company. Don't just think about creator or think about CRM. Think of every department in your company, from sales to marketing to accounting, HR, etc. So questions like Raju mentioned earlier, like what is revenue per employee? This platform would pull information from Zoho Books and Zoho People and let you know that information. Something like email an NPS survey to my happy customers. How does it know what your happy customers are? Well, in Zoho Desk, we keep track of the customer satisfaction, and in survey, you have the NPS survey template, and that's how that would be triggered. Something like how many Facebook followers have opened this email campaign. So what it's going to do is look at who your Facebook followers are in Zoho Social, look at who matched that, who opened those emails in Zoho campaigns, and let you know that answer. Other things like who in my pipeline has open tickets is pretty useful for on the sales side. So if you're about to close a deal, you know if they've emailed any of your support teams and maybe there's an unresolved issue that you can be aware of. How many paying customers did I have on my website in the last month? So the CRM is going to tell you which customers are existing and who have paid already. It's going to filter that for the last month. Sales IQ keeps track of your website visitors, so using that information can let you know that. And then our new app, Zoho Backstage, that we're using to run this event, how many event attendees are my customers for more than a year? So again, it uses the CRM data, cross-references with who actually is attending the conference on Zoho Backstage, and lets you know that answer. So a lot of this stuff where we talked about the problem we're solving of trying to jump between multiple apps, you can now hard code into the system. So when you are training new people, onboarding new people, or you have someone that needs an answer that's probably from a different department or doesn't need to ask someone else, they can ask the bot, and the bot can aggregate data from multiple apps and let you know. So we are offering this for early access, so you can go to this website and fill in the form. It's the ZIA platform early. So if you want to go ahead and fill that in even right now, you can get early access. Zia will probably like you more than she likes me, clearly. So, do you have any questions? We are done.
Do you have to build an app that will use the API in order to use this, or will your intents work with, like, when Zia Voice is added to the CRM app, mobile app? Yeah, so question is, do you have to build an app that uses the API in order to be able to use Zia this way, or will those intents or actions work with the CRM mobile app when Zia is added there?
So, so what we just demoed you is some third-party cloud application. We are building one such abilities for Zoho CRM by native. So those abilities will be automatically available on your CRM mobile app. So whatever that we build, and you will be able to add more abilities to what we build. But if you want to build something specific to Zoho CRM, it will directly be available on your Zoho CRM mobile app. So you need not have an additional app for it. But if you have if you want to build abilities out of Zoho CRM, say you have some other application and you want to build over it, you will need a mobile app separate. But for native Zoho products, you don't need an additional mobile app.
Okay, so if you wanted to check inventory, Zoho inventory, check stock, you could use the CRM mobile app.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
This is more of a foundational question on how Zia is going to operate in the future. As Zia builds up skill sets that, like everyone's individual Zia, will that be kind of combined? Will that skill set be available to everyone, or just your own?
Yep. The end user who is going to chat with Zia can be anyone, literally. So what I demoed is the developer console, and what Ricky demoed is the end user view. So or the demo site that we had is the end user view actually. So the end user can be anyone, literally, and anyone. And once that, if I'm a developer and I'm writing a Zia bot, and I'm publishing it in some website, whoever is able to access that website will be able to access Zia chat as well. So it's like you create something and you publish it, you can define the audience. So any developer can control the audience. I mean, who you want to deliver it, you can deliver it through your website or your mobile app. So any users who will have the access to your mobile app or your web app will have access to Zia as well.
Comment to you.
I was just going to rephrase his question because I think I understood it. He's wondering if all users across the globe using Zia add to its intelligence.
Okay. So you're
well done.
Okay. I'm sorry about that. So we are talking about something like a marketplace of Zia skills. Yeah.
No, as Zia builds up its heuristic knowledge, I mean, is that going to be available to all developers? Like, let's say he develops some skills for Zia, and that goes in the Zia's database. You know, is that skill set going to be available to more people, or is it specific to his user account, or will all users be able to gain in Zia's added intelligence?
Yeah. So if anyone builds it, they can, once it is published, it can be made available to other users as well. It is shareable actually. Yeah. It's not that each and everyone has to build their own. It's not automatic. So we are coming up with marketplace for Zia skills as well, so that once someone can develop it and hundreds can use it. That's quite possible.
We have 2 questions on here. What languages does Zia support currently? English is the only language. And then how can you access Zia? Well, you can use that link right there. That answers it.
Like if it's in the mobile app, then just any mobile app you create within Zoho Create will just have that like button that allows you to call Zia, or how will that work?
Yeah, Zia is available as an SDK, so it is anyway embeddable in any mobile app that you develop.
Any mobile app that we develop Zoho Create will have Zia.
Yeah.
Okay. And you know roughly, like, is it in a year from now or 6 months from now when we're going to have that?
No, we have the early access ready, so we are planning very soon.
And will that be part of Zoho 1 as well?
Yeah, Zia platform is a part of Zoho.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all the time we have for questions right now. So let's give it up for Ricky and Vijay, everyone. Just give us a couple minutes to set up the next one.
Não, gente, foi ótimo o momento da palestra aí, a gente ficou sabendo mais um pouquinho sobre o Zia. Agora o Zia pode ser customizado e vamos trazer essa novidade para o Brasil aí logo, tá? Grande abraço, gente. Finalizamos aqui essa live em Princeton, na Califórnia, na sede da Zoho. Um abração.